You know that one of my signature moves is to dress accordingly to the car, but I said, no way I'm gonna buy green trousers for this Kyalami Green. No way, but I'd rather dress according to the front grille and the wheels. It's gonna be hot today with a German Autobahn episode with the Audi RS3. 5-cylinder action, let's go! You're joining Thomas on Autogefuehl, welcome. Here the RS3 in the front gets the black mask, really sporty, strong appearance. Then this honeycomb structure inside, RS3 badge. However, if you want more black, for example, black background for the lights, this is an optional black package actually, which is also here at this vehicle. LED standard, matrix LED optional, then you also have cascading turning indicators, both in the front and in the rear. And in the lower part here, there's a special animation, a special signature, and also this RS3 welcome animation. It's really interesting. The length here at 4.50 meters or 177 inches, this is a sedan. You can also go for the 16 centimeters or 6 inches shorter hatch. We also have a separate video where we do the exact comparison between sedan and hatch. You can tune into that one later. The sedan has the advantage that it has a little bit more length and more weight on the rear axle, which is actually even a little bit better for driving. 19-inch wheels are standard for the RS3 here in the black styling, also together with more black accentuations. For example, also the side mirrors and also the frames around the windows. You can also get it without the black pack, then you would have a bright frame around the windows and also the bright styling at the side mirrors, which is to me, you know, just a little bit more likable. This is here the more sinister look. Which one would you actually go for? Beautiful and strong styling in the rear here, the separate spoiler lip contrasting style, modern signature for the tail lamps, RS3 logo, and then this additional dark black element in the honeycomb style. And here this is also the optional sports performance exhaust. The normal one would already bring you a nice sound, this one an even more enhanced, but the AFAP is active, the Autogefuehl fake exhaust police, because the real one is on the inside. The performance car, really? But what's really cool is the torque split. So, this is a front-wheel driven platform, but then all-wheel drive, 50-50 maximum, so also torque is sent to the rear. And from that 50% of power on the rear, you can, in the drift mode then, that's like the maximum thing, have 100% on one outside wheel, and that really kind of makes the car almost feel like rear-wheel driven. I do have some drifting scenes there on the test track and the racetrack for you. That was awesome. You can tune into the other review from that. Here, a short glimpse of that. Really amazing, but also in normal driving or in the sports mode, this feature is active, and then it really brings you out of the corners. Under the hood, the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder with 400 horsepower, 500 Newton meters of torque, 3.8 seconds in the acceleration figure, and here also with the beautiful covering here in carbon fiber on that engine. Yeah, also visually beautiful work, and of course we're going to check out how it drives very soon. Oh, and by the way, in the recent BMW i7 episode there was a discussion about closing the hood properly. Well, you can slam it. To me, it's really loud. It sometimes really even, you know, hurts my hearing. So for that reason, and also because I learned also from mechanics and so on, that the gentle way and the more gentleman way to close the hood is really to do it in a two-step, you know, like this, and then pushing it all the way down. That's how I learned it, but feel free to open the discussion. Car key with the RS logo. Beautifully processed, good quality, no high gloss black. This is a perfect key fob to me, isn't it? Door closing sound. Really solid, love that. RS3 entry badge and also RS formats, really cool, and of course aluminum pedals. The inside of the door is just somewhat softened up, yeah, not entirely hard but also not super soft. Interesting in the A3 is that the door handles kind of like upside down, and upside down, and this is actually visually nice idea, and from the inside it's also not too unpractical when you like grab it like this with the other hand, of course, so why not? And really nice quality also, all the buttons and levers and how they have even the clicking feedback. The steering wheel you can also get here in the microfiber trim, 12 o'clock mark. It's a special design package. Really recommend you to go for the microfiber steering wheel. It looks awesome and has the best grip. And oh, what a relief. Real buttons on the steering wheel. This is lovely. And also these turning jogs. Here left side digital instruments. On the right side for the volume, picking up the phone. This is how we want it. And RS button to pick the RS driving modes, the sportiest driving modes, directly on the steering wheel. These seats with integrated head restraints are standard for the RS. Here, this is the optional animal skin spec. However, there are also dynamic car microfiber seats available. They would be standard in Germany, a £0 option in the UK, and not available in the US, sadly. But gladly they are available in the UK now, thanks to you actually, and we passed on the feedback that our viewers from the UK want to have the microfiber seats, and then Audi did change it. So that's a cool story. Then here, headroom with 1.89 m or 6'2". Yes, I have grown. Here, still a lot of headroom left. Decent comfort, great grip in here, up, down, in, out. So a nice sporty seating position. But the cool thing is, unlike the true sports cars, which are purpose-built sports cars, this one here is built on a somewhat normal car, therefore is a better, combination of sportiness and comfort. Cockpit overview, clean layout, steering wheel with a great size. Then the green accentuations you get in that design package, you don't have to go for that one. Then here the decor element, Quattro logo, 10-inch infotainment system on the right is standard. Left side standard 12.3-inch digital instruments. Yeah, that happens when you drive performance oriented with this vehicle. You can also have the map in the middle part, or here full screen, that is possible actually. And this is kind of like the standard sports view, but you can also change the whole thing. You can change to RS Performance, then it looks like this, and there's also the RS Runway that looks like that. However, it also automatically changes. For example, when I go with these classic gauges, I do prefer that, and then you go into the RS mode, it also automatically switches and shows this. Oh yeah, ESC Sport, watch out. Infotainment up close, an easy main menu, so nice to just see that it's uncluttered. On the left side you can program your own hotkeys. For example, I put this one here to Apple CarPlay. You just hold this one in here and swipe to the left, and then you have it here. I already done that earlier. So then you can directly access the CarPlay. This vehicle here is mounted with a standard sound system, which is just really mediocre, I have to say. But there's a mid-trim and a high-trim sound system, and they are both really great. The integration Android Auto is also possible, both cable or wireless. You can choose that, and that's, I think, a good thing. You can actually choose that. The car internal GPS looks also quite nice. You can also get it with satellite view, and it is well usable. Yes, could be a little bit more responsive, but overall the infotainment system is really very good. Then the RS menu, for example, you can get an RS monitor. If you want to look at that while driving, not sure about that actually. And then the Audi Drive Select. So the adaptive suspension switches accordingly to the driving modes, get stiffer for example. The whole vehicle is 10 millimeters lower than an S3 and 25 millimeters lower than an A3. And here the RS individual mode, I tuned it all to the dynamic then, that when you switch it on the steering wheel, you can really access the sportiest mode. In the lower area here, yes, I'm glad to have still a climate unit you can manual control and with nice clicking sounds, so somewhat classic user interface. I really appreciate that, good to have it. Also in the lower part you can select here the driving modes, but usually you would use the RS button, the steering wheel, easier to use. And in the very low part, inductive charging pad for your phone or 2 USB-C chargers. Cup holders are adaptive, but also can be, you could make this open area here, that is possible. The armrest, leather cover, and very well attached underneath, more space. In the rear, hardback at the inside of the doors at that price point, really styling wise also cool. Here more or less a single seating setup. The bench itself is also quite comfortable, but then again I'm really cramped in here, especially with these sport seats. Can't have any legroom left when I'm sitting in the front and here, so for tall adults it's really not that good. Headroom wise is also a problem, especially when the sedan roof is falling down. Somewhat fit here with a relaxed spine, but overall not a good result as for that one. Also huge middle console, 2 USB-C chargers, but moving around in here in the back is not that easy. And when you fold this one here down, you have cup holders, but that's cool. Great build quality with adaptive function. 370 liters for the sedan, 325 for the hatch. The advantage here of the sedan is that you have 95 centimeters in trunk length or 38 inches. That's better than with the hatch. And here the width, 1 meter or 40 inches almost. Just the height here, that is then limited with the sedan with about 42 centimeters or 16 inches. In the hatch you can easier load things in and out, but here you have more length. And by the way, the battery is placed right here underneath. Another advantage then for the weight balance. Welcome to Thomas's Performance Driving Lounge on the German Autobahn today with the Audi RS3 in that new generation 5-cylinder performance, 400 horsepower, and already sporty as it is, but now RS mode. Ooh, the sound goes up, everything tuned to maximum sportiness and with your motorway acceleration, but safety first, of course. Please follow the following safety announcement. Do not use the RS mode on public roads. 40 kilometers an hour, let's go. $150. 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. And we go to 230 kilometers an hour, and now we stop because there's an Audi A3 Sedan in front of us. Really? But a normal one. And now, again, even here at 180 kilometers an hour, there's still acceleration going. What is this? Woo! And the suspension, I mean here, lane change at these high speeds here, incredible. Oh, traffic announcement. No, I don't want it. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, let me focus on the driving. Thank you. Wow. Look at that. I mean, even this thing is hooked to the ground. What the hell? It's incredible. I mean, it's a compact vehicle, compact segment. And even at these extremely high speeds here on the German Autobahn, it feels so well to control. Noise insulation is also good. Yes, the higher segment vehicles, if you take like an Audi A5 or something, have better insulation, no doubt about that. Or even bigger like A6 and so on. That's not the main focus of this vehicle, but I mean, it is so extremely well to control. You drive 200 kilometers an hour or 125 miles an hour and you feel like, oh, it's a piece of cake, so I could still do anything with the car. I don't get nervous at all. And now these lower speeds, I mean, feel almost boring. Let me turn down that window. Let's see, also here shifting pedals, shifting down. Let's listen to that. Oh, why not? That sounds decent. Sports exhaust we have mounted there. Of course, the EU version is not that extreme as for the sound. We have other regulations here. The US version will sound even a little bit better because you don't have the particle filters there. Yeah, but wow. What a great performance. You know that last time I drove this one was also on the racetrack and also on the test track then to sorry about that, to show you the drift mode. That was also amazing because it is still a frontal biased platform somewhat. Yes, you have the 50-50 distribution front rear when you really hammer it out. Such a smooth acceleration at the same time. 3.8 seconds is the official figure, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour. But due to the all-wheel drive acceleration also really collected, calm and collected that acceleration, although it's powerful. And yeah, in that, we have the torque vectoring here, or the torque split even, that sends more torque to the outside back wheel, to the outside rear wheel then. That is really helpful. And yeah, in that special drift mode we've shown to you last time especially, you can really have drifts because the power can be sent to 100% to the, for example, then to the right outer wheel when I go in the left. But you really have to think about like 50-50, and from that 50 on the rear, 0-100. That makes sense, right? And that really worked. Never seen that in that way with a car that is not rear-wheel drive only. Really amazing. And yeah, it is really a great daily racer. Is it the best daily racer? I really have to say probably yes. And initial question was also, can it be a good and somewhat still comfortable daily driver? here we go back to the normal driving mode, which is already sporty, and I have to say, yes, it does work. With some exception, of course, fuel economy, if you compare it, I mean, what is possible, 10 liters on 1 kilometer, or like, 23 mpg US, 28 mpg UK, that is possible, stressed on possible. Cruise control, motorway, lower speed. Of course, usually will be a little bit higher. And then this one here has a turning circle of a truck. Yeah, so definitely better with the S3, for example. And of course, suspension is even stiffer, even a little bit lower, so some bumps can be a little bit rough. But if you have that adaptive suspension here, which I also have in that test vehicle today, it does a good job. We have to get the traffic light here. But the good thing is then there was also police, so good that I did stop. So, but when the traffic light again jumps to green, then I can do a nice acceleration out of the corner. But indeed, when you think about S3 versus RS3, as a daily driver, of course, I would always go for the S3. It gives you better comfort, better turning circle, it's a little bit more forgiving. Seating comfort here is also good with these sport seats, that's no problem. However, of course, when you have the animal skin surface, it's stiffer. The Dynamica surface is definitely more comfortable, cozier, both summertime and wintertime, better climate comfort, both cold and warm. So, as I said earlier, in the UK, you can get them now, thanks to you and thanks to us. And in the US, not sadly, but in Germany, it is actually the standard thing. So in Germany, just leave it as it is, and in the UK, go for that option where you don't have to pay for. Actually, it's just like a zero. Here now, even in normal driving mode, accelerating out, oh gosh, it's really nice. In the deep driving mode, you see the RPMs wait, so cannot recommend that. If you want to drive a little bit sportier, then either here go for the S shifting mode, just in the middle console, and then RPMs are already there, that's good. Or of course, what you can always do, even if you don't, not in the RS performance mode, just use the shifting pedals, shift down yourself twice or something, and then the RPM is directly there. So that's probably the best thing, because in daily driving, you leave it rather than in the normal driving mode, have some more comfort, but then use the shifting pedals to get it up to speed a little bit quicker. Well, you can also use a pin down, but that feels a little bit unnatural, I would say. You can also use the cruise control here, setting it on the lower stalk column here, and this also has an active lane keeping assist. You see here, it's not too obtrusive, so you can drive it with that one on that. I mean, you don't feel like, oh, it's like intervening too much, but here it does work. And now it says lane departure warning. Thomas, don't do that. Just for demonstration purposes, of course, it's meant to keep your hands at the steering wheel at all times. We now do one more acceleration, RS mode once again. I've set the individual mode that I have everything tuned on the sportiest tone. That's cool. There's different visualization. You've maybe also seen that already, and I like the more classic visualization. What about you? Also showing the interior. Now 80 kilometers an hour. Let's accelerate. And 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. Whoa, what the hell? And now on the brakes in the corner, but still, this is a good exercise for the vehicle. How calm and clear. I can't believe how settled this car is on the road. This is so, so clearly segment best. I'm really amazed by that. Wow. So it is one of the most fun compact vehicles, one of the most sporty compact vehicles, if not the one. Wow. This goes further, and now we're almost 250 kilometers an hour, which is, so 250 kilometers an hour, 155 miles an hour is the usual maximum speed, VMAX, for the normal version of the RS3. And then this vehicle here has the top speed unlock. Who cares, seriously? Or to 280 kilometers an hour or 174 miles an hour. And if you have this RS Dynamic Plus package, then you can even go 290 kilometers an hour or 180 miles an hour. But seriously, I mean, I also only drive so fast now once, in a while for testing purposes. Usually when I'm on the German motorway and have freeway, yes, I drive quickly, definitely. I do enjoy that and I like that, but always safety first. Keep a lot of distance to the car in front of you. That is the most important thing you should do, actually. But I never go more than 200 kilometers an hour on the private note. Just here, like, okay, one acceleration here for you guys. I know you enjoy that. Testing performance of the vehicle, checking all the safety things. Usually, for me personally, I rather, go like 160 kilometers an hour max. Sometimes when the road is really empty, 180 kilometers an hour, and that's it. So rather around like the 100 miles an hour mark. That's more than enough that you can stay on the left lane and you can just drive straight. Hardly anyone is trying to overtake you. You don't have to overtake anyone, basically, that is not on your lane, and you're just like staying on the lane and can just focus ahead. So there's also rather for me a safe thing to do. It is better actually than switching all the time. So switching lanes is the most dangerous thing you can do on the motorway at high speeds. So you should not do that. You should either decide, drive swiftly, left lane, carry it on, or just go, slowly in a row on the right lane, and that's it. But the thing in between, that is sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do, because you're getting in the lane of the faster vehicles, then of the slower right, and then you have to check where is what, and then it's get messy and things happen. So that's my experience on the German motorway from driving on German motorway driving myself for now 12. I'm not that good in calculating in my head actually, and sometimes I even don't know my age. So how long I've been? 18 years now on the German motorway, yeah. So myself, and before that, of course, when you're a kid in Germany, you grow up being on the German motorway. Like with your parents and so on, and say like, "Come on, Dad, drive a little bit faster, drive a little bit faster." I remember that, that time in our Mercedes VW 123. Sorry, not VW, in a Mercedes W123. Yeah, crazy, yeah. W123. So that kind of like pre-E-Class thing. My dad is going downhill, and I was like, come on. It's the first time I was driving like 215 kilometers an hour, like once, the bit backwind and downhill. I think it had like a 4-speed automatic transmission. Amazing experience. No seatbelts in the rear. Of course, at that time, no one was caring about that, So, but of course, really dangerous to do that, definitely. So back to the vehicle here. Sorry, I think that these stories are really awesome. And when you have a car like this, you always, remember some Autobahn stories. But for me, it's always important to keep safety first. Audi TT in front of us, also such a beautiful vehicle. They will not build it anymore, actually. So this is kind of like goodbye. Here now, this is a daily racer, a very good one. I so much enjoyed driving this vehicle. Alcantara steering wheel. Here with the Microfibre, best choice you can go for that one. Also, when you have a private vehicle, you can go to a specialist and have that one done, as an aftermarket thing to your normal vehicle, which maybe has an animal skin wrap. And you do enjoy that every day. Some people say, it takes too much care and blah blah blah. You enjoy it every single day, both summer and winter time. It stays warm in winter time. It doesn't get sweaty in summertime. You just have the perfect sporty grip. It feels great. You just enjoy it every single moment. Go for it, no matter what. That's my take on microfiber steering wheels. So here now, countryside road. It is comfortable enough suspension-wise, especially when there are not bumps in the road. Yes, when there are some potholes, then you do feel a difference to the Audi S3, where it gives you more comfort. That is something to be considered. So yes, I'm sticking with my opinion. Get the S3. Basically, that's my tip. The RS3 gets this, this fascination. And if you want the sportiest in that segment, it is the way to go. But moving it day to day, I would always go for the S3 and also save a lot of money. If you think about that, this vehicle here, with all the extra equipment in it, and it doesn't even have the biggest sound system. How can you spec such a vehicle, put the animal skin seats on, but then don't go for, there's like a 3-level sound, like the bass, mid-trim and highest trim. Come on, we all love to hear music in our cars, right? Even if it is a performance car. Why have you put the bass sound system here? Why isn't like at least the mid-trim standard for the RS3? Come on, guys, really, Audi? Yeah, But still, this car then ends up at 80,000 euros or dollars, and like, the hell? For an A3 Audi? Yes, it's an RS3, but still, come on. You know, for like 90k, you can get a full spec S5. So then I would rather get an S5 Coupe or Sportback, or of course in my sense an S5 convertible, because I just love that car. Yeah, new 4 Series here, facing a 4 Series Grand Coupe 4-door version. Yeah, so price definitely too high, and that's why I go for the S3 no matter what. However, still having so much fun in the RS3, and there's one thing to come still. We have some more winding roads. Oh, someone has a RSQ3 there in the same Kyalami green color in the backyard. Interesting. So now we go once again winding corners with bumpy road, and now we feel the suspension. Oh, watch the birds. Wow. That does get rough, and there you feel more difference, RS3 and S3 then. But here, wow, look at how well this car turns in, and now I also feel that this does not have a front rear bias, and that torque split there in the rear really helps me get out of the corners and making this almost, how smooth and amazing that is. This is really great. It drives so beautifully out of the corners. Yeah, that new torque split really does something. Wow, and if you want to see more, of course, tune into our racetrack and test track episode where we do even that drifting thing. Or if you go for my everyday driver tip, get the S3, check out that review.